Welcome back everybody to another video. Welcome back to the channel. We got our Bristol City preview tonight. Starting now pretty much. Yeah, so basically disappointing Oxford game. We've done the video for that already. Go check it out on the channel. But today we're gonna discuss how we beat Bristol City, which is gonna be a difficult game. And anyone that says it's not going to be difficult, you're in dreamland, because Bristol City are flying this season in the championship with their new manager Struber, don't know how you pronounce it. Yeah, he's done pretty brilliantly with Bristol City this season, unexpectedly. I thought it would be a difficult season for them. Obviously, you know, the signings they've got are not amazing, but they've killed it off, you know, after bringing in some good young loanies and stuff like that. So yeah, but we'll break it down in terms like this. So obviously we're returning to Ashton Gate from obviously last season's win against Paul Smith, scoring the long distance goal when Marty Fuentes was in charge. So yeah, there's that. Now, player-wise, what they've got. So recently, their team has pretty much been Vitek in goal, a very tall, young potential keeper who they have on loan from Man United, who is really class, but he's not really. I don't think he's really kicked it off this season, I'll be honest. I've been hearing a lot of like weaknesses from Bristol City fans, that he's not doing exactly great, but he has full of potential, that Man United fans have been saying. So yeah, you also have Zach Viner, Rob Dickey, Atkinson, pretty much all at the back, Tanner, Borges, Randall, McCory all in midfield, and Twine, Maherty and Jakobsen pretty much all up front. Now, what do we need to be careful with on Saturday? A lot of things, but I think the only way we beat Bristol City is by playing them at their own game. Now, as you can see on that side where you see the squad lineup, that is how I believe we should line up, in the sense of beating Bristol City. 100% it's not going to happen. The lineup is just how I feel. In that build-up in lineup, we have in goal Nardi, obviously our number one. And then I've decided to put Don Morrison and Norrington Davis all at the back. Now, Norrington Davis can play centre-back. He has done before in his career. So he's very, very good at it. But the thing is, with Norrington Davis, he does like to get forward a lot. Now, the reason why you don't see Steve Cook in there is pretty much because I will never put him on the left now, after seeing him against Coventry. And I believe Morrison can play on the left, but I believe this is probably the strongest system we can do against Bristol City in the tactically, what we'll discuss soon in the review. Now, Dunn, I want him to play in the centre-back position because of obviously his height. We need a lot of height in that box for defending wise against Bristol City away. And we also need to make sure that we have enough players to go and push up front and score goals. So, as you can see, I've put Vale, Madsen, Varane, Hayden and Sato all in midfield. Now, the reason why I've done this, and I will say I want to change it because I've thought about something else, because obviously weaknesses from Bristol City. Now, in Vale's position, or Sato's position, I'd probably put Paul Smith on against Bristol City. I will, just because I would love to utilize his long throws, because if we get throws in the final third, we need to utilize them. We do, and for a small guy, he does get that ball into the box pretty well. And just like Julian has said in the pre-show of QPR's up-and-coming game, we got to be careful, because Bristol City, Ashton Gate, they utilize their field a lot because it's quite big. It is. And yeah, so we need to utilize that a lot against their advantages. But the reason why I put Madsen, Vale, Madsen, Varane, Hayden, and Sato pretty much is because I feel like we need three in midfield against Bristol City. We need Madsen to be our distributor, Varane to be our holding midfielder, and Hayden needs to be, because he looked really good against Oxford, he did, and he looked really good when he came on against Sheffield Wednesday. So I feel like he might be a player to play box to box and let Madsen push up a bit more up the field to help Burrell and Kone, which I'll obviously talk about in a second, who I've put up front. Sato, and obviously his pace wise, he's doing incredible for QPR, and I just think he'll utilise that left flank or the right flank pretty well, as well as Vale as well. Now, with up front wise, Kone and Burrell, the only reason why I've chosen this is because I believe these are the only two that can work together. I believe Burrell could either only work with Frey or Kone. It can't work as in Frey or Kone, or, you know, like that. I just feel like it's too, you need someone with a bit of pace and someone with a bit of strength to hold up the ball. Kone to me is the one that holds up the ball. Burrell is your machine who can run up and down the field with pace. He can, so yeah. Also they have goals in them, so that's what we need. I believe the only way we beat Bristol City is by having two up front, for sure, definitely. Now the reasons why, so Bristol City, where it comes to goals, they do score a lot of goals, and most of their goals come from either set pieces, long throws into the box like Paul Smith, but from Rob Dickey. They like to counter-attack a lot. Bristol City do. They do split the defence in the middle. So when I say split the defence in the middle, I mean in the sense of they use their midfielders, either Maheti or Scott Twine, to play the ball down the middle and not down the wings. So, for example, if you've seen most of their goals this season, most of their goals have come from where a ball has come through into the middle of play, and gone past the player whilst they're running past them. So for example, like say Scott Sinclair, he's running down the wing, but he cuts into the middle where the ball is going towards the middle. So we need to be careful with obviously that splitting the defense, and that's why I've put 3 at the back, not 2. They play high up the field a lot, so when they get the ball on say for example set pieces, when they win a set piece like corner and all that, they like to maintain the ball up there. They like to keep the ball up there a lot, so they'll pass the ball constantly around the box or anywhere in that 25-yard box in the final third. They'll play that ball constantly. You know, they're not great passers, but they like to play up the field, not down the field. So they like to get the ball up there. They do. Like I said, they do high press as well, in my opinion. They defend very high. So when it comes down to the opposition or the team has the ball, their striker and their 2 midfielders following the striker, putting pressure on them constantly, and that's where it hesitates, lose the ball and goal. So yeah, they like to play, like I said, they like to play passes in the final third a lot. They win the ball a lot in the final third, and they counter-attack quite a bit. They do. So we need to be careful with all these things that they do. And like I said, this is why I feel like Dunn, Morrison, Norrington, Varane and Hayden will all utilise this a lot best. So I wouldn't just use Varane and Hayden. I would use them in the defensive wise as well. So when we're defending, we need Varane and Hayden to push in the back with Morrison, Norrington and Dunn to defend pretty well. Now the only way I can see us beating Bristol City on Saturday is by goals. Now if we defend well, we need to counter well. I believe if we do get our set pieces, we need to utilize that a lot, because their keeper is not great at saving high shots at all. They seem to struggle a lot with long shots. They do, Bristol City, but also they do score a lot of long shots. Bristol City do, but I think we need to utilize these most of the majority of things where we need to utilize the 25-yard box quite easily and quickly in that on the day, and we need to attack straight away. We do. Like I said, the weakness is pretty much set pieces, long shots, and their keeper. As far as I can see, with all the games they've played this season, they lose the ball. Like I said, they lose the defense quite high, so we could utilize that a lot with Kone and Burrell, and possibly using Paul Smith or Vale or Sato, whoever plays on the wings, and cut in. So like that, for example, it would be a lot easier to have more wing pacey players up the field than having, say, your chairs, your Madsons, and all of them lot. So that's what I would do personally. I would want to see QPR pushing high when we had counter attack, going with 4 up front and pushing on constantly. But then it comes down to the attack of Bristol City. So Bristol City tend to play a similar formation in a 3-4-2-1, I think it is. Or is it? Yeah, 3-4-2-1, where basically they utilize their wing backs or their wide midfielders as both inside forwards and basically wingers. So depending on the playing style, what they do, or when they attack, they have pretty much four midfielders on the attack in the final third. They do, with 1 up front. So if they utilize it quickly, that's 5 people pushing for the attack into the final third. But depending on Maheti and whoever's on the left, and Scott Twine and whoever's on the right, they will reverse and, combine with each other, switch over, play the ball into the middle a lot, and they'll try and play for a set piece if they can, and also take long shots as well. Like, if you didn't see it, Maheti has taken a lot of long shots this season and scored one hell of a cracker the other week. He did. I can't remember who the team was, but it was a bloody great strike. Now, I can't really say he's going to stick with it. Well, obviously what I put out here and say this is only going by what I say, but he's probably going to no doubtly play a 4-2-3-1 as always, and he's probably going to utilize Jimmy, Dunn and Davis to play as a back 3 when we do defend, or when we attack. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some changes in the game quite a bit. We need to utilize our subs quite a bit in the second half, I would say, as well. And I think possibly Collie might be a good shout for this game, especially up front. If Frey comes on, bring Collie on, see what happens. Paul Smith, we need pace, definitely need pace for sure. And Vale might need to be as a middleman, like he said, a number 8, maybe replacing Madsen, I don't know. But that's how I could see probably how he's going to line up. He's definitely going to play Kone. He has admitted that he is going to do rotational again. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Steve Cook on the field go in there. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game for us. I wouldn't be surprised if it finishes a draw. But I will say this, I think both teams will score. I think we're going to see a couple of great goals and some great saves. I think it's going to be down to keepers and strikers to do their job on Saturday. So yeah, Nardi needs to be on point, because obviously since Sheffield Wednesday game, he's been pretty clumsy on set pieces, running out, and hopefully he's learned his lesson. But yeah, I feel like if he puts the right team out, good tactics, we could beat them, I reckon. I'm going with a draw. Put your comments below what you think, what score will be. If you think who he plays, what kind of thing will be best to play. Put your comments below about that, and we'll probably have a look and read them out on the watch along. But yeah, apart from that, that's pretty much it for today. We've got much more coming obviously on Saturday, and then we've got a bit of a break for 2 weeks. As it's international break. Before we end though, I just want to say congratulations to Rayan Colley for getting his first, I think it's his first call up to the Algerian first team. So congratulations to him, and obviously we've said Koki Sato already as well for Japan. I can't think of any other players that have been called up yet, but if you can, put it in the comments below, and obviously we can read them out on the weekend. But apart from that, we are going to be playing a couple of players that used to play for us. Joe Lumley and Rob Dickey. And we just got to be careful with certain players like Twine, Maheti, and Jakobsen. I believe Tanner could be a danger for us going up and down the pitch, but I feel like if we utilise it properly, we can defend it well. So yeah. But if you enjoyed the preview show, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to, and we'll catch you tomorrow afternoon, I should say, at 3 p.m. for the live watch along against Bristol City at Ashton Gate. Like I said, put your comments below, and we'll go from there. Hopefully, you'll have a great evening, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.